Hello everyone, Dylan from Gamers Lair here today. We're with Jeff, and
Hey
he's going to be
guys.
explaining how Arcane Barrier works. And
All right.
arcane damage in general.
Yeah. All right. So I've taken Kano because he's the wizard, and I have his 3 useful Arcane Barrier equipment here. So just, show the camera there. That one is Arcane Barrier 1. The Storm Striders are Arcane Barrier 2. And the Arcanite Skullcap, assuming you have less health, is Arcane Barrier 3. And it's currently the only armor that offers Arcane Barrier 3 right now. So there you go. So in general, this would be his armor. We're just going to leave it there for now. When you're doing damage with Arcane, you essentially pay the cost of the card. So we'll say we're going to try to play Scalding Rain red. So you'd pitch any card you want. We'll pitch this Blazing Aether red just to be able to cast Scalding Rain. It would go onto the combat chain trying to resolve, assuming that both players pass. It would then attempt to resolve, dealing 4 arcane damage to the opposing hero, or to target hero. So I guess you could target yourself if you want to. So we target ourselves for some reason. Then, when this is trying to resolve is when Arcane Barrier comes in order to block any sort of damage. So in order to do that, you have to pitch cards so that you have resource points equal to the Arcane Barrier you're using to block it.
And there is actually like tool text in case you forget, where it says, if your hero will be dealt arcane damage, you may pay this much resource. If you do, prevent this much arcane damage that be dealt.
So, this one is dealing 4. So if I looked in my hand and I was going to pitch Gaze the Ages, it is for 3 resource points. I could use its 3 to use Arcane Barrier 3 off of my Skullcap, preventing 3 of this 4. I could also use it for 2 and keep 1 resource floating, or I could use it for 2 and 1, using it all, or I could use 1 and keep 2 floating. In addition, you can only use 1 Arcane Barrier per source of damage. So for example, this is a 4.
It's a good example. 4,
Yeah.
so he's got a 3 and a 1.
Yeah, so I could use both of them. I cannot pitch 4 or 5 resources, I guess, in this point, in this scenario, and use double Arcane 2 on the same one. So each instance can only be used once per each source. This is very important with a card that I didn't actually pull out, but just give me a sec here to find it. Of course it's not here. Go figure. Just give me a sec, guys. Sorry.
And Arcane Barrier isn't limited just to the Skullcap and the Wizard. There's also a couple other items for each class that'll have Arcane Barrier as well.
So, Forked Lightning here is one of the only cards in the game that actually says, if you want to hold that up for them, it says deal 2 arcane damage, and then again deal 2. It is considered a single source, meaning that even though it deals 2 and then 2 again, you can only use 1 instance of Arcane Barrier.
Well, one per equipment. So if you had the Arcanite Skullcap, Storm Striders, and Metacorpus, he could use all 3 of those as long as he pays for them.
Yes.
But he can't use Skullcap twice or Storm Striders twice.
Yes.
It's all still 1 source of damage just being dealt twice.
Exactly.
And that includes 3 damage modifiers. If he had a card that said the next one deals +5, it would be deal 5, deal 5.
So for example, if you played Scalding Rain and then pitched, so you would need 1 and 1 for the Crucible there. If you pitched for 2, you could juice up the Scalding Rain into a 5, and then you would need to use either both of these to block it all, and 5 resource points like you have in your hand here, 3 and 2. Or you could just take some of it and block part of it. And essentially that is how Arcane Damage and Arcane Barrier works. It's not like this goes on the stack. You don't have to respond to them playing this. You wait until this tries to resolve, and that's when you sort of block it with a replacement style effect via Arcane Barrier.
It's basically just an alternative to the blocking, because these aren't actual attacks. They're just cards that are dealing damage.
Yep.
And because of that, that's why you need these guys. And there are other things that can give Arcane Barrier as well, but armor is the most important way, because that's actually something you just have the entire game with you.
Yes.
There's other things like the, what was the item that does that?
The Rusted Relic is an item.
You have to draw into it and play it. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of what to do. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments, but thank you very much for watching.